Mask mandates are being lifted. People are getting out to socialize, but it's not going to be like it was before, prior to the pandemic. Why? Because we've been isolated, and sometimes with that isolation, we lose our social skills. So today I'm going to talk about how to re-enter the social world and prepare yourself to meet people in person again. And for more tips on how to take charge of your love life, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Many people for years have been limiting themselves to a social bubble, right? So there will be awkward silences when we re-emerge and go out into the public and start talking to other people. But just like riding a bike, if you haven't been on one for a really long time, it's okay. You might fall and trip, but eventually you'll get back on and riding it flawlessly. My first tip for you is to go out and start re-emerging into the world. So what does that mean? Practice makes perfect. Go to the grocery store, go to the coffee shop, get out of your house. I know if you have a work from home job, at least get out once a day for an hour and be around other people. And start making small talk with random people, maybe the cashier at the grocery store, maybe a neighbor. And the key, honestly, if you want to get out of your head, is just focusing on brightening that person's day. So leave the person you met in a better place than when you first met them. Tip number 2, join a community about connecting, all right? So there are things like Toastmasters out there, and it's an actual membership organization that teaches people how to network and speak and create connections and work on their social skills. You get positive feedback, you get real feedback, and it's a safe space for you to develop your social skills. Everyone is there for that same reason. Or you can check out an improv class where you can learn how to be present and in the moment and just let go of all the rules and really step into having fun. Tip number 3, make sure you pay attention to the conversations back and forth, okay? Should be 50-50. What I mean by that is 50% listening and 50% speaking, right? And it's always nice to ask questions. People love talking about themselves. And when you hear them answer, don't just move on to the next subject. Learn more about that specific answer. For example, if they said, oh my gosh, I love to travel, ask them where would they want to travel right now if they could. And they would say, yeah, I would love to go to Thailand. And ask them, why Thailand? What is it that makes your heart want to go there? And when you go deeper in those questions, it creates a connection that you actually care about what that person is saying and you're interested in them. Another great way to meet people in person is by doing an activity. There's co-ed sports, there's miniature golf, there's things that you can do to get you outside into the world and re-engage with people through hobbies and interests. There are things like meetup.com that already exist where strangers come together to share hobbies and interests. So definitely check those websites out. And then when you go there, one of the tips that I always recommend if you're kind of shy, reach out to the host and introduce yourself to the host. And they usually are going to be at the event and they know everyone, and ask them if they could introduce you to a few people. That way, when you go out there and connect with people, it will be a soft introduction and not something just, brand new. And if all of this sounds too scary, here's my final tip, something that's way less daunting. Re-engage with your social circle. Listen, we've had to eliminate barbecues, holiday parties, Halloween parties. Now's your chance to open up the doors and throw a party yourself. And you can start small. You don't have to have a giant party. Have it with people that you know, like, and trust. Maybe a small circle of 5, right? And that way you can start re-engaging in socializing, learning how to ask questions, doing active listening. And then once you start feeling more comfortable, then you can go out to the world and start speaking to strangers again. All right, I want to hear from you. What are some interesting ways that you're going to go out and re-engage the world again? Please leave your comments and questions below. I do reply. And if you want to work with me, if you need some support in re-engaging the world and just working on your social skills, please go to amythedatingcoach.com. I have workshops and I have private coaching I can support you in. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.